Welcome to Fashionable Trash Talk. I'm your host, Ashley Aaliyah. Here I analyze and discuss the fashion of celebrities and anyone influential.
Okay, guys, I know everyone is wondering what my opinion is on the Met Gala 2025 from last night, which theme was super fine, tailoring black style. I have a lot of thoughts, and I want to say first, if you watch my fashion videos, usually I am a lot more respectful and delicate with my opinion of said fashion. But if you follow me on Instagram and you've seen my Met Gala reviews before, you know that they're just very raw and honest. And so it's going to be a mix of that today. So if you are someone who's looking for a style review that's just going to be constant praise and me screaming black excellence, this video is not going to be for you, so you can cut it off. This is going to be a combination of praise, criticism, constructive criticism, critique, calling people out, giving flowers to people who surprised me, who I felt like had like the most improved style from years before, who kind of underwhelmed, and, things like that, just an honest review. And so, overall, I hated this Met Gala. I was extremely disappointed. It was just, I never seen anything like it. And I think this pretty much solidified that fashion is dying, if not dead. And I just also want to call out another point, that what we seen last night is what happens when there is a clear imbalance in fashion. There are a lot of people, especially women in the industry right now, who have all men on their teams. A man is their wardrobe stylist, a man is their hairstylist, a man is their makeup artist, things like that. And so what we witnessed last night is fashion from 90% of a male gaze. And I think that is why so much femininity was missing from the Met Gala red carpet, and why so many of us left just feeling unfulfilled. And I'm just disappointed, but let's get into my reviews. I'm going to break it down by category just because it was just a lot. So I'll break it down by category. Janelle Monáe was hands down the best dressed of last night. My girl was clocked in and just brought the creativity to the Met Gala that we craved and that we needed. I was not surprised. This entire theme and category is where she resides. And I just appreciate that she didn't let us down. She didn't fall short, and she didn't do any half-stepping. And she gave it her all. And just the innovation, the creativity, the excitement. 10 out of 10. Janelle did that last night. My biggest surprise from last night was Onika, Nicki Minaj. I was not expecting this from her at all. Word on the curb is that she was styled by Law Roach, and this was his best look of the night. We'll get more into that later, but she looked amazing, top to bottom. Like my biggest surprise. Usually she's not one of my favorites at the Met Gala. Like, she's never the worst dressed, but she's never like top 10 for me at all. But she looked good. The girl looked amazing. Like, she shocked me the most. If you would have told me that Nicki Minaj would outdress some of the top girls at the Met Gala this year, I would have never believed you. But tens, it's nothing else I can say. Nicki was clocked in this year. These are the looks that I love the most from last night. I feel like these people put a real effort in. I feel like they did an amazing job at executing the theme, and I appreciate the people who decided to bring some creativity to the Met Gala last night because it was so far and few between. And I know we may all have a difference in opinion, but some of these looks I was surprised by, and I was just, I won't say blown away, but I love them for what the event was. I think they did a great job, truly. Here are the looks that I didn't like at all from last night for multiple reasons. Either I felt like they were styled horribly, I didn't like the color palette, I just felt like the looks didn't make sense, I felt like they were lackluster. It's just, I don't know. I feel like some of these people have been to the Met Gala enough times to know better. Some of the fits, I felt like the tailoring wasn't good, or just like certain looks just washed them out, or just, I don't know, like the fit. I just didn't like nothing about these looks. These are the people that I expected more from, who I feel like underdelivered. And I don't usually discuss Tiana Teller because I don't feel like there are honest discussions being had about her when it comes to fashion. I think a lot of people, like, of her character overlooks a lot of the things that's happening in fashion. And on Instagram, I was very, very honest. On YouTube, I guess I'll keep it to the points that I just want to stress. I know a lot of people felt like this look was just so bomb, and for me, it did nothing for me. I didn't necessarily like the color palette on her. I felt like it was way too masculine. I feel like this type of look really only works when you go this deep into masculinity. I think it only works when you have softer features. Tiana Teller has harder, sharper features, and I think unless she's going to go like full blown stud type of lesbian, then I think it kind of misses the mark of what it's supposed to do. Also, Solange already had her big do-rag moment on the Met Gala red carpet. Rihanna already had the big do-rag moment in the magazine spread. I didn't really need a do-rag moment from her either on not either, but I didn't need a do-rag moment from her, period, on the Met Gala red carpet. I don't know. It's just, I'm not going to say, how can I put this? She did exactly what I thought she was going to do. And y'all reacted exactly how I thought y'all would react to this look. And the reason why I put her in the I expected more is only because they kept putting her across the magazine spreads, X, Y, and Z. But this look did not hit for me the way it hit for y'all. And it seemed extremely performative. And I don't know. Like, I feel like Tiana has this thing about her where she does a lot of smoke and mirrors, and it's never really called out or acknowledged. And so I felt like, okay, yeah, it's to the thing with the tailoring, and Ruthie Carter had hand in it. So it's like, if you have those things in the midst of all that, how could you really critique it? Because, oh my God, Black excellence, blah, blah, blah. But when you really look at what's going on, it's really not anything that we haven't seen before. It's not really that creative, and it's truly not that innovative. And that's what I mean, where I'm like, she we could have gotten more. We could have gotten more. But again, my opinion does not mean that you could not have loved the look. Because again, opinions are like assholes. We all have one. But that is just my personal take on this look. I think it's time for us to have a real conversation about Megan Thee Stallion and just realize that she just doesn't have it when it comes to fashion. I feel like we have given her so much grace, so much understanding, and so much time to improve, and she just hasn't. I know people say, oh, the hair was inspired by Josephine Baker, X, Y, and Z, yada, yada, yada. We've seen something like this from Meg before, the same silhouette dress. I'm not moved. I'm not surprised. Meg, what's going on? And I think we have gotten to the point where we just have to admit that it's probably her. And we may get great music from her, but we may just not get great fashion. Let's get into Zendaya. This is such a layered conversation right now. Zendaya, overall, if this look had been on a newcomer, would have been a 10 out of 10. But being as though Zendaya is a vet at the Met Gala and has consistently held a top 5 spot when it comes to looks at the Met Gala, I expected more. And when has Zendaya look ever been remotely close to anybody else's at the Met Gala? And I'm going to go ahead and say it. Law Roach T got clocked a little bit last night because that shouldn't have ever happened. Ever happened. Okay? And it takes me back to an interview that she's a makeup artist, that she spoke about. And she pretty much said, she didn't say it verbatim, so I don't want to mess up her quote, but this is the gist of what she said, that the people who are designed to help, meaning the stylists, the makeup artists, the hairstylists, the teams, are too focused on trying to be the stars. And that pretty much is what's the disconnect that's happening in the industry right now. And I think this is the perfect example of that. Now, it doesn't mean that Law isn't talented. It doesn't mean that we love him any less. However, Law has been having his moment right now. He's been in the interviews. We've seen videos of him shouting, they done fucked up and made the Met Gala black and yada, yada, yada. All the things are the things in the magazine spread. And for him to do a look like this on Zendaya for the Met Gala, this would have been an amazing look for like the Oscars or something like that, one of those red carpets. But I don't think it really brought it home the way it should for the Met Gala. And all I can say, loyalty was clocked last night. I'm just say that. When have we ever seen this happen with Zendaya at the Met Gala? Articles about someone else whose name is not as big as hers. There's no shade to the girl at all, being dressed like her. And the only thing that makes it different is that Zendaya's suit was tailored better. I think it's going to have to get to a point, because I feel like although Law has been in the industry for years, I think it's going to have to get to a point where Law is going to have to decide, am I going to be a stylist and be clocked in with that, or am I going to try to be the star? Because in this day and time, I don't really think that the two can coexist right now with a blooming star, like a star that is still in her prime and still working and still clocked in. Like, for example, not to compare people, but June Ambrose, she is one of the most iconic stylists that ever existed, bar none. And I don't think we've ever seen June try to be the star. she has gotten her flowers, her accolades, and she has just done some of the most iconic looks. And we may see June in an interview from time to time and doing her thing and doing her videos on Instagram. But I think June has a strong understanding of what her purpose is and what God-given talent she was given to do. And I think she deserves a lot more flowers than she gets personally. But it's something that it has to be respected, that even after all these years, after all the experience that she has never lost her way as the stylist. And, I don't know. But I'm gonna shut up. That's what I'm gonna say about that. I have repeatedly been asked to provide my opinion on Doechii. And for the longest time, I withheld my opinion simply because I feel like when it comes to certain artists, a certain level of honesty and transparency is not being had. And I just didn't feel like a bunch of angry birds in my comments going off. And then also I'm like, well, maybe it may be, let me see. Let me wait it out because she's newer. I am fully ready to give an opinion on this girl now after last night. Doechii, to me, is a fashion gimmick, hands down. I think she likes the theatrics that comes with fashion. I think she likes the good press that comes with fashion. I think she likes the aura and the energy that comes from being in fashion. But Doechii at her core is not a fashion girly. And I think without recreations, she wouldn't have a leg to stand on in fashion, period. And I think this red carpet look proved that. The entire video, doing that entire video, which we've seen previously done by Rihanna, and her doing it just to reveal this look, it just gives so lackluster. Like, honey, you didn't have to do all that. Let's not get into the look prior, earlier in that day, or it was either the day before, earlier that day, where she was dressed like a combination of Tweets and Erykah Badu, and was walking out with a mimosa glass. And if you're into fashion, then you know that one of the most iconic things that Rihanna ever did was when she used to walk out of restaurants with wine glasses. Because she, as my one friend said, because she wasn't finished her damn drink. And so now I'm not speaking about her music, I'm speaking about fashion. I just want to see an original thought come from this girl and her team. And I'm completely exhausted with the recreations, and I think they have done an amazing job at creating her as a gimmick. And the Met Gala, I think the Met Gala is where you come to really show what you're made of. And I think the Met Gala has been a good judge of who really, truly is going to have next in fashion and who isn't. And the fact that she showed up like this for the Met Gala red carpet, don't ask me about Doechii no more. Y'all can enjoy the gimmick. Y'all can enjoy the antics and all that. But I'm officially signing out from her. And more than likely, she won't be someone that I will be discussing or praising or really acknowledging, because I don't do the gimmicks, honey. Hands down, my biggest heartbreak of the night was Rihanna and Marc Jacobs. I am, as a day one Rihanna fan, I am completely speechless, disappointed. I don't think a real dialogue is being had about her currently. I think because she had such a solid name in fashion, I think she's just getting praised for this look being so amazing. This would have been an amazing look on a newbie, not Rihanna. And I think one of my biggest issues with her relationship dynamic and A$AP Rocky, because I don't like him outside of him being a colorist and saying things like he don't give a damn about Black Lives Matter until he got locked up overseas. It's just a lot of problematic things that come with him, which plays a factor in why I don't like him. But when it comes to her and why I don't like this dynamic is that as a day one Rihanna fan, since she has gotten with him and has been popping out those babies, we have gradually seen her style take a direct hit and decline. And I do not think that is by accident. I think it is by design. I think she has dumbed and dimmed down her style so much in attempts to make him shine brighter. And I do not like that. It doesn't matter how much she dumbs down her look for the Met Gala red carpet. A$AP Rocky will never be the fashion powerhouse that his delusional ass think he is in his head. And I think that was also proven last night when he gave absolutely fucking nothing on that red carpet. And I think that is the biggest chip that I have on my shoulder from that dynamic. Yes, the kids are beautiful. Yes, girl, live your best life. But to dim your light in the ways that she has dimmed it, that no one is discussing, in order to try to make him seem like he's just such this star because he couldn't quite cut it in his own career path, I can't get behind it. And for her to go from carrying the crown and the torch for so many years at the Met Gala to have such a basic Marc Jacobs look for this night is just, that was my heartbreak. And this was my breaking point last night, where I just completely checked out. Completely. And of course, everyone's online acting like it's so amazing and she looks so good and talks about the baby and stuff. And meanwhile, I'm just like, wow. I honestly, I don't even know if I'm going to be tuning into the Met Gala next year. Now, these people, I just feel like under-delivered. Last night, I expected a lot more from some of them, and I pretty much expected them to look like this, but I feel like they could have put a bit more effort in. I feel like some of these people have done a lot better traditionally on the red carpet at the Met, especially Cardi. And it doesn't necessarily mean these looks were horrible, but it was just like, y'all could have done a lot better. I don't know what was going on with Tyler and their hair, and A$AP Rocky did exactly what I thought he was going to do, absolutely nothing, but I just think it's hilarious how y'all were gassing him up just for him to flatline on that Met Gala red carpet last night. These are the people that I think put effort in and had the most improved looks from either previous Met Gala red carpets or red carpets at other award shows. I think they did a great job at their own style and pace. And I think with Angel Reese, although I didn't like the hair and makeup because I felt like it aged her, I think she is going in the right direction. And I think this look is drastically different from the look she did last year. And between her and Serena, I think they are setting the tone for years to come with athletes at the Met Gala, because athletes are traditionally the worst dressed there. These are looks that I may not have absolutely loved, but I love the effort and the thought that was put behind them. I think these people did a decent job for the Met Gala. Again, I might not have been blown away, but I feel like you can see the thought process there and them actually earning their ticket. If their seat at the table, if you will. And I think these looks have to be appreciated in a sense, because as boring as like last night was, at least gave us a little something to look at and to be moved by in a sense. So yeah, I would say they did a pretty
decent job. Even if I feel indifferent about some of the looks, I can still give credit where credit is due. It's to just not looking like they just rolled out of bed and came to the Met Gala, or just look like people put anything on them. Now, these are additional guests that you guys can check out their looks. I don't really have any strong opinions. Like, I have opinions, but I don't have anything that's too strong about some of these looks. And I feel like a lot of these people either went extremely safe, or some missed the theme. Some could have used a little help pushing their look a little bit forward. But all in all, again, these may be people who invoke a difference in opinion of people. Some people may really love these looks. Some people may not like them so much. Some people may find them innovative and creative. Some people may not be that impressed by it. But I still wanted to, be able to show you guys a different look so you can formulate and have your own opinion overall about what you've seen. So that concludes my video of Met Gala 2025. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to leave comments underneath the post. Just make sure they are respectful, because remember, this is not a fan page. This is a fashion commentary page that provides real, honest opinions that are mine, that I am allowed to have. All right. I'll see you guys next episode.